Welcome back. Has anybody seen the film Knives Out? I think it's with Daniel Craig. He's the guy that goes out and solves all the mysteries. Okay, well, I've been called out. We have a mystery. We're hearing noises in the loft. So why don't we work this one out together? So I'll take you with me, and we'll see if we can solve this together. Obviously, I'll give you some clues and see whether or not I get the answers right in the comments. Okay, so. Let's start this professionally. Customer says she's hearing noises in the loft. Sounds heavy, scratching noises, potentially rats, could be squirrels. Unsure, so let's go and find out what's going on, shall we? It's a really terrible accent, Matt, but let's go with it. Right, let's turn the camera around. Let's go in the loft. Right, so knives out, boots off. Let's go. So first of all, we've got to go upstairs. And then we do a hard right turn. We're at a farm, by the way. So just to give you a slight idea, it's a rustic house, nice countryside, rustic farm, lovely. We're now in a converted attic. So now we're gonna head over. We have a toilet here. Now, what does it mean when there's a toilet and showers? Potentially rats. So, I'm letting you decide what you think it's going to be. This is the area that noises are being heard. So, noises apparently being heard over in that corner. So, we're going to go and investigate what it could be. Just gives you an idea I'm about to tread over in a minute. Some live wires sticking out, lovely. Yeah, let's get the head torch on. Right, as always, safety first. What we don't want to do is touch any urine or droppings before we enter into this loft. PPE is the last line of defense, but at the same time, very common sense sort of type of approach to any of the jobs that you do, because you don't want to touch anything and transfer it to your mouth or your eyes. Right, let's get into the loft. So here we go then. So I'm seeing signs of chew marks here, easily done that by a mouse. That's easily a mouse that's done that, but they're saying it's a heavy sound. So we're not looking for mice droppings, we're not looking for mice nests, we're looking for something bigger and heavier. I've already found how the mice are getting in anyway, so right, you have to excuse me while I try and figure out where I'm going to put my hands. Let's go across here. Oh. Okay, right. We have a bird's nest in the corner there, but remember the noises are coming from over there. Right, this is interesting, isn't it, really? No clues as to yet. I'm still trying to lumber my heavy fat body around in this small area. And that's meant to be a fake wasp nest, which doesn't work, by the way, on medium wasps. Okay, so there's a type of wasp that doesn't care about that. I've actually come across wasp nests with about 4 of them in one area. Right, let's go and wander a bit more. So we've got toilet pipes here, but obviously that's all blocked off there, so definitely not coming from that way. I tell you what, access is brilliant around here, isn't it? Oh. Lots of eggs from spiders. Lovely. Okay. We're slowly progressing. Old wasp nest there. Oh, blimey. big old spider up there. So, yeah. Woodworm. Got a bit of a woodworm issue here. They're not asking me to solve the woodworm. I can actually see what looks like a dray. But I don't know. We'll let you guys decide what you think it might be. Don't listen to me. I might be putting you off and sending you down the wrong path on purpose. Right, so we're seeing lots of droppings here, which is obviously bat droppings. How do you know these are bat droppings? Because they crush in your hands into dust. But there's no signs of bats, so that tells me then that they've obviously had this insulated, but they didn't clean this out after. Obviously, if there were bats in here, I'm not allowed, I'd have to leave, but I can't see any bats. Right, there is something going on over there, isn't there? Let's go a bit closer. Remember, if there's any bats, I have to leave. By law, I'm not allowed to be in this loft, so I know that. So don't say anything in the comments going, ah, you should leave. Well, there's no bats in here. There's a hole in the wall over there. Right. Here we go. It looks suspicious. And see if we can see anything. So, here we go, guys. Girls and guys, what do you reckon? What do you reckon has made that? That looks to me like it's exit entry point that way. No signs of any droppings. So normally if it's rats, they will have droppings nearby to let them know where the entry exit point is. And if it's squirrels, they generally chew on the wood, right? So let's see if we can find any droppings or any chewed wood. What's going on in here? Oh blimey. Let's pull that back. That is a big old that tells me we have ourselves what do you think, guys? What do you reckon it is? Chew marks on the wood. Big nest, single nest. No signs of droppings. It's quite matted and it's shredded, but not as much as it would be if it was rats. So where the hell did they get that from? So the question is where's the entry point? I think if we get a bit closer, I think that's the entry point there. So yeah, the plan was to find out what it is. Once we know what it is, now on this instance, I can see an entry point. I can't see any signs of a rodent. I'm not going to say what I think it is, but what would be coming in from the outside at the top of a roof? Do you think it's a rat parachuting down from a plane? The amount of people, I ain't joking about the amount of people that says to me, oh, I've got rats in the roof. I was like, right, okay, and how do you think they're getting in there? I don't know, they're just in the roof. I was like, well, why do you think they got there? They just crawled into the roof. Well, you reckon they just parachuted out of a plane, do you? You know what I mean? If you think it's rats parachuting out of a plane and they're getting into this loft, please let me know in the comments. Very keen to hear. If you think it's mice that's caused a big old nest like that, let me know in the comments. And if you think it's squirrels or a squirrel that's made a big dray, chewed on the beams and is getting in from that hole there, then let me know in the comments. If you think it's something else, like a stoat, a weasel, a bird, whatever you think it might be, let me know in the comments. And then I know what it is. I just want to see whether or not you guys have learned anything, and you can now tell me what you think it is. But there's no signs of anything here, which is great. So I'm now going to go to the van and I'm going to plug that hole up and stop whatever it is that's getting in ever again. So that means no killing anything, right? That's great news, isn't it? We don't want to kill anything, not unless we absolutely have to. If we're outnumbered by the amount of rats or squirrels or mice in this area, and there's too many entry points, then yeah, unfortunately, we have to go ahead and do a control program. But on this instance, I'm not seeing anything. And I'm strongly feeling that it's a single rodent getting in. And if I can stop them from getting in there, that's the end of it for them. So there's the hole there, look, just one more time. So I seal that hole. That should in theory be the end of it. And there's no 2 visits required. There's no killing of anything required. There's no need to lay traps and no need to leave any cameras. However, we will ask the customer to monitor, because like all rodents, if you dispatch them and you end up sealing them out, they know that this is their home, right? They know this is their home. And if you then seal the front door, they're just going to come in through the back door. For those dirty minds out there, how dare you think like that? But yeah, it's the same as you coming home from work. If you went to your front door and the key didn't unlock the door and you couldn't get in, you're going to go to the back, aren't you? Or you're going to go to the side of your house. Worst case, you're going to smash that window so you can get into your house, because it's your house, you paid for it, right? That's the same scenario with rodents. If you don't dispatch them and you seal the hole, there's a high chance that it can get back in again. So it all depends on how secure the rest of the house is, right? So let's see if I stop them permanently and they don't come back. If they do decide to come back, I have to take the correct measures in controlling them, and then obviously that's the end of it. But it depends on how persistent and determined they are. It depends on whether or not they get back in or not. And if they don't and they get to move somewhere else, then they get to live for another day. Anyway, let's get on and let's get that hole sealed and report back to the customer what we've done, and then hopefully that's the end of it. And like I said, let me know in your comments below what you think it is, and yeah, keen to hear of any sort of like weird and wonderful things that you're thinking about that I haven't thought about in this place. So right, it's time to get out of here. Right, time to get back to the van, get back out to that exit point there, and then got to come back again. And I've got to come back again and seal the entry point internally or externally. Right, let's get out. What we're going to do as well is we're going to go outside and see if we can find that entry point and see what we can see. God, this is so dodgy in here. This is probably one of the dodgiest lofts I've ever been in. Right. It's a little hatch as well, it's not a big hatch. Look. I mean, if you look at me, I'm well and truly above that door. Hello, Mr. Spider. You've got to be kidding me, right? Fuck's sakes. Okay, so we're outside the property where the noises are being heard. Up in that corner there where the bedroom is, that's where the noises are being heard. And I seen a hole just there. Yeah, so there's a hole just there, and I'll show you that now. So I'll show you whereabouts the entry point of what it is that's getting into the loft. Can you see a hole there? Yeah, that is the entry point that I was at a minute ago, and where the nest is, the dray is. Can you work out what is getting in there? Is it a rat? Is it a squirrel? Let me know in the comments. So I'm going to go up on the ladders now, and I'm going to close that hole off. I've done the inside of the hole, but obviously belts and braces, we're going to do the outside of the hole as well, just to make sure that she can't get back in.